Good morning and welcome to the first of our NCAA Men's Volleyball 2024 Championship press conferences. We are joined by Fort Valley State. With us, our head coach Lawrence Rather and student athletes Isaiah Fidd, Shea Cooper, and Jackson Higgs. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Rather and then open it up for questions. When you're ready, Coach.
This is a great opportunity for our young men. I feel extremely honored and proud and privileged to be able to represent our university in the state of Georgia out here in such a major magnitude of a stage. This is something for me as a kid. I grew up playing this game. I played Division I and never was I able to do what these young men are able to do right now. So for me, this is an honor to be their guide through this treacherous terrain that we're about to go into. So to make history with these guys and do some things that I wish I would have been able to see someone like me doing at this stage is commendable. So you guys, I'm excited for us to get into this and get going.
All right, we'll open up for questions.
Vinnie Lopes here from Off the Block. For all the student athletes, can you just talk about what this moment means for an HBCU to be in the NCAA tournament, especially for folks who look like me who may not fully understand it?
Who would like to take it?
I'd like to say for the HBCU experience, it's really not common to see people of color playing this sport in general. Like even going up through like the club stages, there was a lot of us who were just in the minority groups where the team would be having like around 10 people, 10 to 12, and then only be like one or two of us. So now to come into a team where the majority is us, like we're able to represent what we bring to the table, what we bring to the program, and what we bring to the sport as a whole. So I feel like while we're coming here, it's not only just about us representing our university, but for the HBCUs all around, for the people of color all around to understand that what we can provide to this sport and to show that we are meant to be a top tier team and to show that we can compete with everyone else.
Shea?
Read the question one more time.
Oh, yeah. Can you help tell people what this moment means for an HBCU to be in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, much like what Isaiah said, it's really just like you don't really find many people like you playing this sport. And you go through club, go through colleges and all that stuff, and it's like, all right, like I'm maybe one of 20, one of 18 or whatever the number is. But, the experience is something that you can't really describe because it's its own experience compared to other ones that you may experience at different colleges. Playing with guys that are just like you, similar backgrounds to you, similar like living places, like it's a different experience and it's really empowering to a lot of us. And it helps us like keep growing, going. And like what Zay was saying, like just trying to like put that out to the next generation of just you can go to HBCU and still put in some work and really get to what your dreams are going to be. So I think that's the biggest one.
Kind of just picking off like a little bit what they said as well. And I think it's just one of those things that's pretty much showing the next generation what HBCU sports are all about. I mean, you don't have to go to PWI or any of those top schools just to make it to the NCAA tournament. I mean, we won our tournament. We're in the same stage as these top schools. So it's just one of those things. It's just we go out and show the next generation what we can do.
And then for the players as well, talking to Coach Rather a little bit earlier in the season, watching your matches, he's talking about opportunity for you all to really be your authentic selves. And I want to ask how being in HBCU has allowed you all to kind of be your authentic selves out there on the court.
Well, for starters, one thing that I loved about this team when I first came in was at least a majority of people have seen like the Black Panther movie. So coming from that, like the chant that they were doing out in Wakanda, I remember that it was like our first game and we were all thinking of a chant like, we're like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And we decided to do that. And I don't know if it's appropriate to do it right now, but when we decided to do that, it really just showed to me like we're coming from an HBCU, like we're trying to show that while we're playing the sports, we're still connected to our roots, we're still connected to where we're coming from, and we're really just bringing it over. We're not like leaving it behind as we're transitioning onto a new stage. So I really felt like that was something that brought its own self up into our program and showed that we can be unique. Like, we try to do it almost every single game. And even tomorrow, when we're going to end up playing, like, we'll probably do it then as well. Like, you guys will see.
I think for me, because I came from PWI to an HBCU, so being around different teams, it's like, this is, I mean, they're both families, but this was like, I walked in, it was like, you're part of us. And like, that's literally, if you walk into any household in the South, it's like, you just walk in, all right, you're part of the family now. So I think that's like I don't know, just walking into this big family, it was nice for me.
Kind of just picking up what Chase said as well. It's a big family-oriented like type of sport, or just in general at a HBCU. I mean, every game we come out and just be ourselves. I mean, we don't really put our front on for anybody. I mean, we just go out and play, and who we are on the court is pretty much who we are and off the court as well, goofy and funny and stuff like that. But I mean, it's just we go out there and be ourselves. Like, there's no need to try to put on the front and try to act different for TV or anybody else.
For the three of you, this is the third year of the program. A couple of you, when you were recruited, this program didn't even exist. So take us through the mindset that you were in high school, or first year in college, that made you decide, hey, I want to play for Coach Larry Rather at Fort Valley State.
So I was one of the first original players to come to Fort Valley State. I was told about Larry from one of his good friends at adversity to give him a call. I talked to him on the phone for probably about 2 hours. It was a pretty nice conversation because we were from the same area. But I mean, he told me what we were going to do. He told me his plan, that he had the future for the program, and I was bought into it, and that's what made me choose to go to Fort Valley State University.
You came second, so you were second.
You were second. Whatever you, yeah.
Well, for me, I really realized like what I wanted to do with this program and this team after I had actually left. So not too many people know, but I actually had left the program after the first year. And while I was away, that's what made me realize that this is where I really wanted to be. Being away for me was a time where I was able to realize that I was missing out on the things in life that would set me apart from everyone else. The points in history that were going to be made, to remember your name, to remember a type of standard that you were setting for yourself, that you were setting for the people around you. And while I was gone for that time, I thought about it, and for me it was understanding that it's not necessarily about ourselves anymore coming into this program to play. It's really about everybody else who's looking, and we're the ones that are inspiring them, that we're setting a standard. Like now, I remember our coach was telling us that now that we got here, it's not the standard just to get to the tournament. We've already done that, we've already completed it. Now it's to keep shattering each barrier. Now our goal is to win the tournament. It's not just to be here anymore. And I feel like coming out of club, a lot of people around us, a lot of players that look like us even, they were just saying, oh, I just want to be done after club. Club is fun, that's it. Or other people would say, oh, I just want to get onto a college team. A lot of other people were saying, oh, I just want to get onto the team, maybe get in a couple games, and they were fine with that. But coming onto this team, I noticed that we're not just trying to set a slow standard or just come in and do the bare minimum. We're trying to break barriers so that the next people that come behind us can say, dang, how am I going to get to the next level? How am I going to reach through the ceiling? And I feel like me coming back has made me realize that the only limitations that we have for ourselves are the ones that we set for ourselves. So coming onto this team, I feel like our coach has set us to a very high standard. He's pushed us every practice, and that not has only molded us as a team, but also off the court. And I feel like that's what's the core value of our team and what's really important to us, especially at this HBCU specifically.
For Coach Rather, what has it been like building that culture that all three of those student athletes have talked about so eloquently in just 3 years?
Very sleepless. I mean, you lose nights of sleep sometimes stressing on, are they understanding what I'm trying to do? Are they really getting the mission of what we're trying to push forward to? And you sometimes think you're not there because when you're in the forest, you don't see the tree, right? So when you're in the midst of it, you really don't know it. But now that we're kind of at this point and you hear these guys speak and you see that, I mean, those who are parents, you don't really notice your kids are listening to you until they start to speak, right? You always think they're not really listening or paying attention to what you've said or what your mission is, and to hear them be able to just talk about it so beautifully of exactly how I was trying to build this program and what the mission was, it's again just pride, strictly, and to see it start to fully come to vision is dreams come true in a way.
Tiffany?
Duke Nolan with the LA Times. Isaiah, can you tell us a little bit about what you did during that time while you were away? and what led to it?
For me, I was mainly just thinking about the academics. I was a dual enrolled student, so that time took me away because I was having issues with my credits. But while I was gone, I was taking those same credits in order to keep me still on pace also at my community college back home. And while I was doing that, I wasn't playing volleyball as much. Like, I wasn't as active. So while I was still on the phone with my teammates, I was calling them. And that's another thing. I noticed while Che was just saying that with the team, how we're always so welcoming, we're always there for each other, and it's not something that's temporary. Like, I feel like with this team specifically, even 10 years down the line, we're still going to be in touch with each other. Because that whole time I was gone for that semester, I still had teammates calling me. I still had teammates that were contacting me and checking in on me, telling me how things were going. It's really not even a team anymore. It's really just a family. And
A tribe.
Exactly, more of a tribe. And that's another thing that made me realize, like, this is where I need to be. I don't need to be solely just focusing on my schoolwork while I am still a student athlete. But I realized that if I have the opportunity to come back, that I should pursue that. And that's what I did. I called my coach. I said, I'm really looking to come back. He accepted me, and we worked from there.
He made it sound a lot easier than it was. He made it sound a lot easier than what it actually was.
So what about it was, what was that conversation really like then?
I mean, it was a lot of truth. These guys know I'm not one to sugarcoat things. I'm not going to beat around the bush about it. I'm going to tell you straight up. And I told him coming into it, it was not going to be easy for him to get back. He had a lot of respect and things he had to get back from his teammates and from us as coaches that I think he's done the work to start to get that respect back from everybody. Because he came back and he was not a guy who was immediately on the court for us. He had to earn his right, and it wasn't given to him freely. Opportunity came about, and he just never let it go. So he had to fight for that, and I give him his kudos, but it definitely was not an easy road to get back. Not with me.
And Che, like Isaiah was mentioning, like you're not just here for a good time. You're here to compete, obviously. So what kind of what do you want to show the country about the way you guys play volleyball, this program, your style of play?
I think I want to show there's different ways to play volleyball. You don't have to be 6'8", 6'7" to be a powerhouse team. You can be, I'm 6 foot, Jax is 6'3", Zay's, 6'2".
Yeah. We'll go with it.
But you don't have to be a big 6'8", 6'7" guy. Like some of our middle's like 6'4". We have a middle that's 6 foot. Like, you don't have, like, our play style is who we are as people. We like to have fun. We like to go out, just get after it, go have some fun and play volleyball. So that's our play style. Just go have fun, go play, go compete. Because if we don't, coach is going to be on us. So just go compete, and go have fun while we're doing it.
Coach, looking at the match, you have some high flyers on your team. UCLA, though, size-wise, a little bit bigger than some of the teams you play in the conference. Do you have to make any adjustments with the way you're going to run your offense, knowing that you're going to be up against some bigger blockers tomorrow?
No, I don't think so. I don't really believe so. We train in our gym to attack against guys at that size anyway, which is why I think for us in conference it was a little easier because we were hitting over most people at a high point.
fought hard during that game. I mean, we didn't really let up. I mean, we just kept playing no matter how down we were. I mean, we just kept playing our same style of volleyball. And I think this time around, I mean, we're ready, we're prepared for them. I mean, it's been a long season, a lot of training. I mean, we just got to stick to what we do best. So, and we trust in what we do. So we just got to stick to that.
And then, Coach, looking at the big picture of this, obviously, you know, this is a journey in terms of growing the HBCU. So what can the volleyball community continue to do to support your program, especially when people may say, I gave money to them 5 years ago, they're good?
I would say continue to be an advocate, continue to be a voice, continue to be a supporter. I think making sure we don't throw out things such as, oh, they're a diversity hire, that's why they're here, that's why they made the tournament, when don't take away from what these young men have done all year. They've busted their butt. They've gotten up at 5 in the morning every single day. They've been in the gym grinding with me every single day, and that's not easy. So don't take away from what they have done, and instead use your voice to help lift them and let their pedestal be a little bit higher than what it was.
Jay, you mentioned coming from a PWI. Can you tell us a little bit more about that journey to making that transition? Why was it important to you to make that choice?
Yeah, so I came from George Mason's in Fairfax, where we actually hosted this tournament last year. So seeing that was like really fun. But yeah, so I spent 4 years at George Mason, graduated, got my degree, everything. And around, I want to say, before the start of the season, I kind of was looking around, just looking at like different schools and stuff, and I saw that there was an opportunity to come here. And so I talked to my coach, and set up a meeting with Coach Larry, talked about an hour and a half, 2 hours, just talking, really, like talking about random stuff at that point. But for me, I kind of saw the writing on the wall of like, there's something bigger than myself here. I can help, and I want to do that. Like, I could have gone back another year and got my master's, all that stuff, great. But I wanted to do something that's going to put a legacy on not only myself, but this whole team, this program, HBCUs in general, people who are like me growing up. You have a place to go to play high-quality volleyball and can like go to this big tournament. Like, this is a dream of a lot of people on the team. This is a big dream. So having the opportunity to be like, yeah, I can go play and make a legacy out of this team. That's what sold me.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Good luck in the championship.
Thank you.